sabotaging your dreams? Let's talk. Hey guys, welcome back to another Mind Right Monday. I'm your host, Bonnie Kelly, your emotional intelligence teacher, author, and coach, here to help you get out of your way and on with your life. So today we're talking about the 3 reasons why you might be sabotaging your career and or dreams and what to do instead. So self-sabotage is something that affects everybody. And if you don't think it does, you might want to look in the mirror and be a little more honest. We all sabotage ourselves in some way, whether it is in our fitness and diet and nutrition, whether it is in our careers, whether it's with money or in relationships. All of us suffer with this problem to some degree. Some a lot more than others. But all of us, if we're being honest, could use a little bit of support and help with this. So today we're going to talk, as I mentioned, to the 3 different reasons why you might be self-sabotaging. So stay tuned, and with each one, I'll tell you what to do instead. So with that, let's dive right into the very first one, which is you may have low self-esteem, or on the opposite side of the spectrum, you may think you're better than everyone else. All right, so this is probably a no-brainer to many of you, but it's really important to recognize where maybe our low self-esteem, our insecurities, maybe our fear and doubt could be sabotaging us when it comes to our dreams of success. It'll show up in weird ways, right? So a lot of times we're like, well, no, Bonnie, that's not me. I have self-worth, I'm confident, okay. But it's gonna present itself through our excuses and our behaviors. What I mean by that is that if you start to struggle with procrastination, avoidance, where you're not doing what you say you're gonna do, you're not following through, that's been triggered by some insecurity that has been fueling a fear, which is driving a behavior. So we have to be honest with ourselves to really take a look at, all right, what is it that is holding me back? What is it that I believe about myself that is causing me to sabotage in this particular arena? Now, as I mentioned, the other end of the spectrum could be like where we're letting our pride and or ego get in our way, where we think that we're better than, so we don't try, or we don't put effort into doing the task or connecting with the people, or we feel that we're elevated above them, and so people don't have the ability to connect with us. So either way, we need to really look at where we can kind of course correct so we can align with the vibration of the dream that you desire so we can move forward. So that is what we need to do instead, is that you need to take a look at first, where am I feeling insecure, or maybe am I overcompensating, or where am I being arrogant? When we look at that, then we're going to go to the next question, which is why? Why am I doing this? Why am I behaving this way? So it could be that you feel that this is beneath you or they're beneath you. It could be because that you feel that you're not capable, or you're afraid of failing, or you're afraid of rejection, or you're afraid of disappointment. Whatever it is, we have to get to the why. Without that insight, you're never going to be able to overcome it in the first place. All right, so let me leave this section off with a quote, which is, "Dare to love yourself as if you were a rainbow with gold at both ends." Like a little Irish Lucky Charm quote for you today is that you want to love yourself as if there's gold on both ends of the pot. And what I mean by that is that you're just treasured, whether you're failing or whether you're succeeding, whether you are achieving or whether you're stagnant, is that you are a magical, delicious, amazing individual. And when we can know that about ourselves, then you can confidently move through whatever it is that you want to do. All right, so let's talk about the next way that you could be sabotaging yourself and your dreams, which is you're scared of failure or looking stupid. All right, so this honestly was one that truly kicked me in the booty many a times when it came to starting my own business. So I was so underneath the surface, was so afraid of looking stupid that I wasn't doing the things that potentially put me at risk of ever looking at like that. Look at me, I'm even stumbling through this. What I mean by that is that I didn't want to be seen. And so again, when you're looking at self-sabotage, we have to look at the patterns. We need to look at where you are not showing up. So that's your clue. And then we have to get to the why. The why could be the fear. Now, fear is prevalent in all of us. right? Fear is just a natural emotion that is to keep us from being hurt, from doing something that could cause us physical or emotional or mental harm. So fear is a wonderful thing. But 90% of us are going to allow our fear to just drive behaviors versus allowing it to guide our behaviors. Did you hear that? It's a powerful indicator right there. Are your fears driving your behavior, or are they guiding it? Because being emotionally intelligent means that we recognize that fear is present. We recognize that, ooh, me getting in front of this camera to do this YouTube video is very scary. And that somebody might think I'm stupid. Somebody might leave a bad comment. Somebody might negatively, share this, right? Or it could be, me getting on a stage and somebody making fun of me or laughing at my capabilities or abilities. Well, I'm being really vulnerable. Like when I'm in those positions, I'm out there for your judgment. And so as a result, that fear is valid. But do I allow that fear to drive the behavior of not doing these videos, of not getting on those stages, of not being vulnerable? Or do I use it as a guide to say, okay, that this is a possibility and I choose to do it anyways? And what do I do when somebody gives me a nasty comment? I cannot take it personal. So we're guiding it. We're using it to guide the behavior. So it's really important for you to really to recognize. So when we talk about what to do instead, what you need to do is that you need to learn to use your fear as a guide, not as a driver. Okay, so let me end this section off with another quote, which is, "There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible, the fear of failure. You can achieve anything that you desire if you choose to put your mind to it. But your mind is also going to create the greatest obstacles that will prevent you from achieving these things. This is where we know we get caught into the cycle of self-sabotage. And this is where we need to know that your fear is a big driver of that. And we want to use that to guide us versus drive us." All right, so this leads me to my third and final reason why you might be self-sabotaging, which is you fail to see how you are showing up. All right, so this one is probably my absolute favorite because when we talk about being emotionally intelligent, it requires us to take emotional responsibility. Now, this means that you have to be 100% willing to own your behaviors and outcomes. We have to get out of the shame and the blame. We have to get out of the boss is a jerk, or my colleagues are, they don't see my potential. My parents aren't supportive. My spouse doesn't like what I'm doing and is always complaining that I'm not home in time. All of these are the outer reasons. And when we give them power, meaning that we give them energy, we give them authority, then they're going to hinder us. And we have to, being emotionally intelligent requires us to say, wait a minute, how am I participating in my stagnance? How am I participating in my distance between me and my goals? How am I participating in this path that I'm walking that is out of alignment with my dreams and desires? And when you're really honest with yourself, you're going to say, well, I'm giving my power away. I'm letting other people's opinions and decisions dictate my behavior. I'm allowing my fear to drive my procrastination versus seeing how it can guide my behavior. When we are taking 100% emotional responsibility, now we have the opportunity to make different decisions. So here's what you do instead. What we need to do is that we need to pay attention to where you are participating in the outcome that you don't like. So you start off by writing out, okay, what is it that I don't like? And then what is my role in this? Where am I giving my power away? Where am I shrinking? Where am I hiding? Where am I not showing up? Where am I avoiding? And then we go to the why. Okay, remember, see it back to the beginning of this video. Why? Why are we doing that? What is the purpose of it? When we can recognize that there's a purpose to everything that you do, both good and bad, and that purpose could mean to protect you, then we can start to decide whether or not that is a valid excuse or reason to continue the behavior or not. And then we're going to do one of my favorite things in the world, which is consciously choose a different outcome. But you don't have that opportunity if you're not aware of how you're playing the game. So get out of the shaming and blaming and jump into the personal responsibility bandwagon and begin to start to see where you can start to make a difference in your world. All right, so let me end this section off with a quote, which is, if you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. Theodore Roosevelt. This quote cracks me up because the truth is, you're the biggest hindrance in every aspect of your life. I understand that there's things outside of us that do block us. We all have financial restrictions, or we have time restrictions or responsibility restrictions, and these things can hinder us. However, at the end of the day, if you have a will, there is always a way. And whether or not you're willing to move mountains to make it happen, what are you willing to sacrifice to make it work? That boils down to you. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a beat each and every week. We bring you awesome YouTube videos to help you get your mind right. And if you're ready to start to take your personal development journey a little bit further, I strongly encourage you to check out all we have to offer at bonniekelly.me. That's where it's the place to be, where you can find out where all of our classes, live events, workshops, online courses are for you. There's a lot of times we do monthly videos that are 60 minutes long, training that you can join absolutely free. We also have amazing video courses, books, classes, tons of stuff, tons of resources to help you all along the way. So until next time, I'm Bonnie Kelly. Did you enjoy this video? I sure hope so. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is how you can stay connected for all what is hip and hot when it comes to personal development and helping you change and evolve your life. If you're ready to start your journey right now, then you want to check out my 21-day emotionaldetox.com. You can spend the first 7 days absolutely free. It's my gift to you. No credit card required at sign up. You're going to love it. This is where in 10 minutes less a day, you can start to get out of your way